Hey guys, welcome to Black Angus Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about, yes, that's right, I did get a new hat. Thank you for asking. No, seriously, we're going to be discussing the sequel trilogy and the question that's been peddled, unfortunately, by people within the sphere of what was known as the Phantom Menace. Maybe it's still known as, I don't know. That the sequels are being erased, Kathleen Kennedy's gone, blah, blah, blah. Here to tell you today that is fake news. And we'll go over this damning piece of evidence. It's going to irritate a lot of people. Beforehand, let me just say, can we get some apologies to RK Outpost? I know he was a bit maybe shrewd, for lack of a better word, in how he handled Star Wars fake news in our sphere of Star Wars internet. But he was right on the money. So all of you people owe him an apology and need to quit watching DOOMCOCK because DOOMCOCK was wrong. So this comes from StarWars.com, speaking about Easter eggs, highlights from Episode 6, which was amazing, by the way. A lot of jingling keys, if you will. I ate it up, like many of us did. And the first right off the bat, Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple. We've glimpsed Luke's storied temple in comic books and on film. Although, to be fair, it was mostly rubble and flame in Star Wars Last Jedi. Now, we turn back the clock to see the new Jedi School at its inception, with ant droids working hard to place every stone on the first humble hut. There you have it. And I got a little bit of a breakdown as to why you should have never believed anyone peddling this lie, that they got sources in Lucasfilm. Maybe this will be enlightening. Maybe this is finally the nail in the coffin that you can just accept. This is canon. And we're going to have to deal with it if we're going to enjoy Star Wars going forward. I know myself, I can make do. It was one bad film, really wrecked the whole direction. And I think Favreau and Filoni especially are aware very much of the shortcomings of those films for fandom in general and how it's fractured what was already kind of split with prequel, original trilogy. Now it's splintered like the Reformation, and they're trying to repair it, in my estimation. So back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, yes, October 4, 2018, this is Deadline, first reveal by Jon Favreau from his Instagram. He put out this blurb explaining the concept of the Mandalorian. After the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. Boom. Should have got that right away, knowing that this show is in context with the sequel trilogy. There's this whole subplot about cloning, and Baby Yoda is a key factor. They got a Camino-based doctor that's doing some work for the remnants of the Empire with cloning and Force sensitives, clearly with Baby Yoda. They've added stuff in the comics with Luke Skywalker's hand being used at Exegol along with Snoke clones and stuff. So it's already been hinted at in the expanded universe, unfortunately, of Disney, trying to tie loose ends and pad the Disney canon thus far, which I don't blame them for. The other creators outside of direct Lucasfilm that let these three films happen, they got to work with what's at hand and try to go forward. Now, I got a few more key points to discuss about. This should never have been a question. You shouldn't have had to wait going on 4 years after Last Jedi to know that, yes, all of this Jake Skywalker, the Holdo maneuver, it's all taking place in the same timeline. No world between worlds retconning or deviating. This story is going to be, at best, maybe with Baby Yoda and the Mando, giving us a tangent story to not focus on that crap and for us to start enjoying Star Wars again. Namely, the Rise of Skywalker. It maintained the canon of Last Jedi while deviating around these plot points that really undermine the whole saga of, like, why wouldn't you just light speed through ships in kamikaze on, like, World War II? Well, doesn't quite work like that. It's a 1 in a million shot. for instance, along with other stuff. In The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda force heals. A week later, Rise of Skywalker comes out, and Rey force heals. They left you that little nugget in the show to kind of pad this new ability we've never known of before. Again, I think, like I've said, this series of shows building in the Mandalorian universe within Star Wars are going to be padding the sequel trilogy, like what people think of the Clone Wars. They're going to be expanding on ideas that at best are subtle and vague and not clearly defined to parse out, and do it a bit of justice, try to make it more palatable, to say the least. If anything, I think you should check out So Uncivilized video, the Anti-Trilogy, how he talks about how Star Wars Sequel Trilogy is a very anti-Star Wars trilogy, how right from the get-go there's all these moments in dialogue and in concepts of how to make the film that were a middle finger to us prequel lovers and fans, and trying to do it the right way. The first line, "This will make things right," that was a meta line, I think. And he does really well explaining all this. And Last Jedi is an anti that film, so JJ has to come back and anti that anti. And it's just a mess, of course. But you look at all that and you see the mindset that Star Wars was made in, with these vicious, self-centered people inheriting the greatest film story of all time, if not one of the greatest stories told of all time, for unifying people, giving us something we can all come to the table around. And Dave Filoni seems to be a guy that, not just having worked on the Clone Wars, he seems someone that wants to unite the fan base around all these elements of Star Wars. I think that's why we got Luke and Ahsoka crossing paths briefly in this episode. It was something I never expected. I wasn't fangirling over it, but I was like, wow, this is nice. I feel like this is a subtle nod to fandom. And so, despite whatever shortcomings he has with his kind of outlook on life in the real world, I think he understands Star Wars enough, being the proverbial protege of Lucas, that he will do his best to follow, whatever mandates of Disney, while still trying to shepherd the Star Wars story in the right way. Also, just my theory, I think Baby Yoda is going to be the focus, or something around him is going to be the focus going forward with this Star Wars universe. I think he will be the next Tar Vizsla. Maybe I will do a theory video on that and do a little more research and compile that for you. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Until next time, thank you for joining, and take care.